rest up on my way home, so my husband wouldn't think I had too great a time, when down the Grand Escalator came Cole Porter, Monty Willie, and two other dreamboats, whose names I've forgotten, shouting enthusiastically, "Irene, Irene Castle." Well, throwing my good intentions right out the porthole, there began the most entertaining, warm, and friendly days I've spent anywhere. We stayed up every night until the wee hours of the morning, singing and dancing to Cole Porter's music, old and new things he had written, until we were steeped in that aura that is, and only can be, a Cole Porter evening.
I'm a famous gigolo, and of lavender my nature's got just a dash of it. As I'm slightly undersexed, you will always find me next to some dowager who's wealthy rather than passionate. Go to one of those nightclub places, and you'll find me stretching my braces, pushing ladies with lifted faces round the floor. But I must confess to you, there are moments when I'm blue, and I ask myself, whatever I do it for. I'm a flower that blooms in the winter, sinking deeper and deeper in snow. I'm a baby who has no mother but jazz. I'm a gigolo. Every morning when labor is over, to my sweet scented lodgings I go. Just take a glass from the shelf and look at myself. I'm a gigolo. I get stipends and bonds from lady clients every 25th of December. Still I'm just a pet that men forget, and only tailors remember. So when I see the way all the ladies treat their husbands who put up the dough, you cannot think me odd if then I think of I'm a gigolo. I'm just a gigolo.
Well, wasn't that excessively cute? And I've always hated cuteness. But he wasn't always the toast of Broadway. In fact, his first show was a disaster called See America First. The critics simply loathed it. One said, contemplating the 1916 Broadway season, one would be well advised to see America first, last, and he was right. But I thought his music had potential, and I told him so. I remember it was on his birthday. He was miserable, of course, already pushing 22. And I went up to him and I said, "You stick with me, and one of these days, the Broadway will catch up to you, and the world will be yours. And don't forget, the first person to tell you so was Elsa Maxwell."
Elsa, Broadway isn't for me.
Darling, it was your first show. The music was good. It was the audience that failed.
Yeah, that's why the audience closed, right?
Quiet, everybody, quiet. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Cole. Happy birthday, Cole. Happy birthday to you.
You didn't suspect
on my birthday? Of course not.
Blow out your candles.
Make a wish.
I wish it was Elsa's birthday.
You don't get your wish unless you blow them all out.
Those aren't mine.
Aren't you a bit young to be lying about your age?
Yes, and I intend to keep it that way.
Where have you been, Cole? I haven't seen you in weeks.
Peru, Indiana. I ran home to Mama as soon as those reviews came out.
Hiding out is a writer's privilege. We thespians had to work out the week. It was my Broadway debut, and I'll probably never work again.
He can always change his name and start over.
I suppose so. But I so did like the name Clifton Webb.
Cole, we have a little gift for you. We all chipped in and bought you something frightfully expensive.
And you know how difficult that is, since I'm currently unemployed.
Oh, a cigarette lighter. Look, everybody. It's great. Thank you very much.
There's an inscription inside. Read it to us.
You may be death on Broadway, but you're still the life of the party.
Huh.
Hell, I'll drink to that.
Just a minute. Only the other night I was talking to this lady, and she said that you were just a dilettante clinging to the skirts of the rich. And I said, you were the rich.
Thank you.
I sit down and play every Cole Porter song I know, she said. They're just party songs. No one will pay to see that.
She's right. I'm already
Oh,
up.
so you bombed on Broadway. Big deal. You're young. You'll have plenty of flops before you're through. Do you want to know what I think?
No.
I'll tell you what I think. The only reason you failed is because you're too good. You can't pay any attention to those nitwit critics. You've got to rise above it.
That's Elsa's answer for everything. Had she been caught in the Johnstown flood, she'd be telling everyone, rise above it, rise above it.
Well, why not? I was a fat nobody from Keokuk, Iowa.
Now she's a fat somebody?
And I didn't break into high society feeling sorry for myself.
No, she broke in using one of those steel balls that they use to demolish buildings.
Oh, there you go, making cracks at me again. I don't know why I put up with you.
Do you know that she taught me to play backgammon wrong so that she could cheat and win all of my money?
Huh. The only way to shut Cole Porter up is to sing one of his songs. Sing to me, darling. Ladies and gentlemen, if your heart is sick, I've got a remedy that does the trick. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you're blue, I'd advise you to try my remedy too. Just say tomorrow, your troubles will be done. Tomorrow, your victories will be won. Tomorrow, 'cause we're all gonna have fun. 'Cause there ain't gonna be no sorrow tomorrow. Yes, yes, everybody sing. Tomorrow, it's all gonna be grand. Tomorrow, the starlight in the band. Tomorrow, we'll live in a new land. 'Cause there ain't gonna be no sorrow tomorrow. There ain't gonna be no tears in your eyes. You can see those houses skies. You're no worries at all. My turn. So why should you fret and get yourself iller? You'll feel like a killer diller tomorrow. All gonna be swell tomorrow. Start ringing the bells tomorrow. We're all gonna be swell, 'cause there ain't gonna be no sorrow tomorrow.
Elsa, stop! You're worse than a tugboat. In fact, you've inspired a lyric I wrote here. Tomorrow, plumpish ladies who are heavier than whales
Whoa.
will wake up to find that suddenly they're as thin as rail.
Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful?
So even little Elsa Maxwell will no longer break the spell. It's no fun teasing Elsa. She always laughs first.
Oh, you can't hurt my feelings. I love all of you. The whole world is my most intimate friend. That's because I don't worry about what the world says. People say that I get regular handouts, notably from Mrs. William Randolph Hearst and Mr. Cole Porter. Do I worry about such slanderous, diabolical gossip? No, I rise above it.
Elsa, dear,
Yes, darling.
how's your mother?
Oh, wonderful. Couldn't be better.
Glad to hear it. Then how about paying me back that $5,000 you did before when she was so desperately ill?
You're 5,000.
Uh-oh.
Why, Elsa? I lent you 5,000 when your mother was dying.
Wait a minute. I lent her money for her mother's funeral.
And now you tell us she's doing wonderful. How do you explain that, Elsa?
Well, she rose above it.
Elsa, rat!
Cole, you would, I can't believe that you would hold something like that against me.
Holding anything against you is the furthest thing from my mind.
You naughty little boy. Just to show you what a good sport I am, I made up a new lyric just for you. Tomorrow, this dear world will be so wonderfully elite, and Broadway shows you've written will be hailed as such a treat that even Tin Pan Alley will be called Cole Porter Street. Everyone sing. 'Cause there ain't gonna be no sorrow tomorrow. Modulate. Yes, yes, tomorrow. It's gonna be glad tomorrow. You'll certainly come back tomorrow. Cause there ain't gonna be no sorrow tomorrow. There ain't gonna be no sorrow for you and me tomorrow. Cole once told Elsa that the disaster of See America first left him with only two choices: the French Foreign Legion and the priesthood. And he chose the Foreign Legion. He even won the Croix de Pierre.
Yes, he did join the Foreign Legion. His grandfather cut him off without a dime. He wanted Cole to be a lawyer, not a songwriter. For some reason, though, Cole wanted the party moved to Paris, and the Foreign Legion was his ticket. I don't think he won any medals, though.
I've heard the stories about Cole and Curly Bear, but I think he went to France for love, not war. That's where he met Linda Thomas.
If you ask me, Cole's war record was a case for Scotland Yard. I never did know what he did in the war. I was in Paris often as a liaison between Sir Douglas Haig and Marshal Pétain. I would see Cole strolling up and down the boulevard in different uniforms, now a cadet, sometimes a colonel, complete disregard for regulation. Well, even the French had some. He would throw the most lavish party, and he'd entertain us with his latest lyrics. One of my favorites. I find that life's not what it used to be when I had a uniform on, for all the lovely ladies fell for me when I had a uniform. But now the war's over. They don't quite like me anymore, and it's a war. Gee, I wish I could start another war.
I when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment. Every moment of the year. I love Paris. Why, oh, why do I love Paris? Because my love is near.
You know her?
Linda, my cherie.
Oh, Linda.
I see her nearly everywhere I go. She's glorious.
Oh, I dare say she knows everyone. George Bernard Shaw, Lady Diana Manners. She's quite friendly with the Duke of Alva.
She's not married?
What? Beastly chap. The letter, filthy rich.
Really? Could you introduce us?
She's a bit out of your legal mind.
Then it's time I broaden my horizons.
Right? Use them on. Let them come on. May I present Monsieur Paul Porter. Monsieur Porter, Madame Linda Toussaint.
Enchanté.
Enchanté, Monsieur Portress.
May I be excused, Madame Toussaint?
I am not entirely unfamiliar with you. I am acquainted with your music and find it most entertaining.
Merci.
Where are you from, Monsieur Porter?
Peru, Indiana.
I might have known.
Now wait a minute. Us Midwesterners are the true sophisticates of the world.
But all the aristocrats are from the South. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
You're American.
I hope you're not disappointed.
No, not at all. In fact, it's good to meet someone from back home.
I hardly think one would call us neighbors.
Oh, I don't know about that. After some of the people I've met in Paris, we practically grew up together. Me on the banks of the Wabash, you in your old Kentucky home.
Actually, it was an old Kentucky plantation.
Oh, I see. I'm nearly rich. You're rich.
I hope we won't let a little hyphen come between us.
Not at all.
When I first went to Paris, I'd written one show with George Kaufman, but no one knew who Moss Hart was. Still, I had a letter of introduction from Irving Berlin. And that was enough for Cole.
Gerald and I knew everyone, of course. The Hemingways, Scott and Zelda, Gertrude Stein. But Cole, he was our favorite. So deliciously wicked and gay.
I dined twice at the Porters and fell in love, as everyone did with Linda.
And Cole was such fun to be with also. With Linda a while ago, it was heavy going. And one day Cole phoned and he said to me, Sarah, I've got some incredible news. Marriage was the last thing anyone expected.
If there was ever a woman for Cole, it was Linda.
They were all wrong for each other.
She was older and charmingly protective.
One thing he didn't need, though, was another mother.
She was rich and charmingly protective.
And one thing Cole loved was beautiful, expensive things.
So, as beguiled as a chorus girl, bride duchess, and equally at home with both.
And so spoiled. I don't think she knew how to open a door.
A woman of great delicacy and charm,
And dull of anything, but she was beautiful.
and so unaware of it.
And so aware of it.
Every time I look down on this timeless town, whether blue or gray be the sky, whether soft be the tears or whether loud be the cheers, more and more do I realize I love Paris.
and he was drinking champagne and eating corned beef hash. He said to me, "Little girl, can you do the Charleston?" To which I replied, "Little boy, I'm the lady who introduced Charleston to Paris. Divine," he said, "I am going to have Charleston parties at my home, and I want you to come and teach everyone." Well, that's how it all got started for me. Soon they began bringing everyone they knew to my place. Bricktops became the hottest spot in Paris. They began coming in so often, I started to reserve a special table just for them.
So I stashed it away in my trunk. Funny thing about that song, though, it seems no matter where we go, someone is always singing it.
I heard it once in New York at Maurice's Cabaret.
It's odd. As an American, I'm unknown. And if I keep writing songs like that, I'm going to be unknown the world over. That reminds me, I've got a new song, I'd like you to try out.
Times have changed. Yes, indeed, you're right about that.
I can't wait to see what you do with that one.
You are unbelievable. You listen to jazz all evening, you party all night. I have to kick you out of here so Henry can clean up, and yet every day you come up with a new song. How do you do it? When do you do it?
Oh, never mind. It's a little game he plays. No matter how late he stays up, every morning he works 6 hours, and then he decides no one should know. So he dons his writing habit, strolls down to the Ritz, leans against the bar in a manly way, and says, "Champagne cocktail, please. My, what a lovely ride I had this morning."
Well, I have this image to maintain.
You're dreadful.
Don't you know people believe you? They say you're a hedonist with too much money for your own good.
Well, is that what you think?
Of course not, but I know you.
Well, then what does it matter what they say? I like everything. You know, I like horseback riding, composing, food, drinking. I like Linda. It's not that I'm cynical or anything, but you know, if you're not yourself, then you're nothing.
He spends his life avoiding boredom.
It's not because I am bored, it's just that I don't want to be. Look, I write my songs, Linda sends them off to a publisher, they send them back, I stash them in my trunk. In the meantime, I'm in the business of entertaining myself and as much as possible my friend. I'm happy as a lark. We're here until March, then Monty and I are off to Spain for a spin through that wonderful country. Then we're all meeting in the summer in Venice for a wonderful, delicious summer, and of course you're invited.
Oh, yes. We have rented a palazzo on the Grand Canal. You must join us, Brick.
Unlike the two of you, Mademoiselle has to work for a living.
No, don't be a snob, just because my grandfather had money.
What did your grandfather do that left you so rich?
He died.
Poor little rich boy, but never a snob. It's cold people were people. Our friendship caused quite a rumpus. That didn't matter to him. His home became the meeting place for all the musicians in Paris. He was jazz crazy. We all were then. It was crazy times. Paris in the 20s were like two meteors on a collision course. I was there when it hit. It didn't last long, but oh, what a lovely light. I still remember pulling that light, dancing the Charleston till the wee hours of the morning. His tragic, crippled years, far in the future.
Stanley, I've been chasing you all over Europe. Did you get any of my cables?
I don't know, did I?
Mr. Getz is a producer from New York.
Really? What can I help you with?
I'm doing a show for Broadway. It's called Paris. I need a composer.
There's lots of composers. I'm just an amateur.
I know. I've tried most of them, but there's a new audience in New York. They're younger, more sophisticated. They read Dorothy Parker in the Post. I need someone with class, someone that's seen the world. I asked Irving Berlin, he said, "Did you?"
Irving said that?
Yeah, in fact, you got quite a few people blowing your horn these days. I heard Elsa Maxwell at a party the other night playing your songs. I liked what I heard. Are you interested?
I just might be. I've got some new songs I'd love for you to hear.
Oh, great. If they're good as the ones I heard, job is yours.
All right.
Birds do it, bees do it, even educated fleas do it. Let's do it, let's go and love.
What is this
Love forsake.
finally caught up to Cole Porter. Anything Goes is his 7th hit in a row.
Cole Porter, man of the hour.
Huh.
He's a musical Dorothy Parker.
Well, listen to Winchell. King Cole Porter is the Kern of the music masters, the Roosevelt of the lyricists. Porter's pitter and pungent patter is a positive panic. The fooling and fun were fervently fondled by the first fans.
Cole, you've got wealth, genius, and a happy marriage. The only thing you don't have, dang it, is troubles.
Life is a glorious cycle of song, a medley of extemporaneity, and love is the thing that can never go wrong, and I am Maria of Romania.
Your drink.
Ah, thanks, sweetie. Linda, I just love your apartment.
Thank you, Dorothy.
It's so big and spacious. It's nothing like mine, but then all I need is room for my hat and a few of my friends.
That line's getting a little bit old, Dorothy.
Oh, that can be said of a lot of us, George.
Well, if it isn't Kaufman, now the party's complete.
Hi, Ethel. On the bread line yet?
Not till it's buttered, honey. Not till it's buttered.
George, you gotta stop picking on my favorite singer.
That's all right. George is just suffering from his usual opening week menopause. Don't your show open tomorrow night?
You gotta stop worrying, George.
I can't stop worrying. It's the only exercise I get.
I don't know, I must be made wrong. By opening night, hell, I don't even feel like the show belongs to me anymore. It belongs to the performer. I get my friends together and we make a night out of it.
He is the picture of relaxed enjoyment. Tonight, during the intermission, he went up the aisle, saying to everyone, "Good, isn't it? Good, isn't it?"
Well, it was.
You have the gall to enjoy opening night. If you had any decency about you, you'd be doing your job out in the men's room throwing up.
Why? He does his best work when he's enjoying himself.
That's right. And the gods have been good to me.
I hear they've arranged a new Hollywood contract for you.
Hollywood? Well, no good. I told you no good would come of going to Hollywood. It makes me forget everything.
Really upset.
They all treated Cole as if he had just flown down from Mount Olympus.
I rather enjoyed it.
I know you did.
Linda, you must remember, if you can write your name, they think you're a genius.
There was a dinner party given for Cole, where the conversation never rose above 4-letter words. I've heard those words before. I may even have done some of them. But I prefer not to dine with them.
Now, don't be a snob.
Well, I agree with Linda.
Thank you, Michael.
Hollywood is debauched and depraved. I can't wait to come for a visit.
Just don't let those big shots push you around. I've seen his rehearsals. He's a gentleman. All those bums understands a good kick in the pants.
I'll remember.
And don't abandon us here in New York.
Never. In fact, I'm already working on a new show, and I've got a new song entitled Riding High that's great for Elsa, or Ethel rather. And Ethel, with that voice of yours, you'll knock 'em dead.
Whoa, boy.
Well, that voice can tell him to stay home and just open the window.
All I can say is it'll have to go some to beat Anything Goes.
George, you like Anything Goes?
Sure, except for all that singing.
Well, you're asking for it.
And let's give it to him, Ethel. Let's do a song.
You're all right. You're all right.
Let's try Riding High. I've come up with some new lyrics for that one.
Okay. New lyrics. Jeez, didn't it have enough?
Well, I don't seem to have them here. They must be over at my apartment.
Your apartment?
Yeah.
I thought we were in your apartment.
Will you go get them?
Yeah, I know where they are. Don't you want to near the top?
You're the top.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cole has his own suite now, across the hall.
You're kidding. 9 rooms at the Waldorf aren't enough for you two?
This ought to be good.
We were having terrible rows over the thermostat.
Yes, he likes it hot, she likes it cold.
I like it in the pot, 9 days old.
Saved by the bellboy. Okay, here's what we're gonna do, Ethel. You take the first line, I'll take the next.
You're on.
Oh, God, I forgot my earplugs again.
You're the top. You're a dancing Bailey.
That's Molly. You're the top. I'll show you why you're a hot tamale.
Molly, Molly, I see. You're an angel. You are simply too divine.
You're a Botticelli.
You're a peach, you're a jelly.
You're Ovaltine.
It's Ovaltine, Ovaltine.
Well, then you're gonna have to say Devine here.
But you wouldn't know that.
Oh, your turn. You're the moon over May West shoulder.
I'm a nominee of the GOP.
Or God.
You're kidding. But baby, you're the moon.
You're the top. You want to try one more?
Oh, I'm game.
Sorry, we're doing one more. Go.
You're the top. You're a gin and tonic. Oh boy, can I just
So can I. You're the top. You're a high colonic.
big cold. Whoa.
You're the rhythmic beat of the bridal suite, and
Oh, cold.
you're the breast of the
Wait a minute, that's enough. Let me sing those.
You really are dreadful.
These are great, Cole. I can't wait to sing these for the little old matinee ladies tomorrow.
All right.
Blue heads dropping everywhere.
George, where are you going?
I'm gonna be sick.
Hello,
I
Monty.
have a drink for you, madam.
Oh, thank you. What are you doing here?
I have a message. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today, madam. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today, madam. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. She is sorry to be delayed, but last evening down in Lover's Lane she strayed, madam. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. When she woke up and found that her dream of love was gone, madam, she ran to the man who had led her so far astray. And from under her velvet gown, she drew a gun and shot. She drew a gun and shot. She drew a gun and shot. Thank you. I love her down. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch. And the mob came and got her and dragged her from madame. They struck her upon the old willow cross away. And the moment before she died, she raised up her lovely head and cried, madame, Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. I remember Cole's biggest song was Bulldog, Bulldog, Bow, Wow, Wow. We were classmates at Yale. I was known as Monty Matillion Moley, a young, insufferable extrovert. The first time we spoke was at a smoker. He was asked to sing some of his songs, and afterwards, soon the fellows were soon laughing and applauding. Well, I was bored. I was used to the spotlight shining on me. And I went up to him afterwards and said something to the effect that, hey, Cole, you know, your performance seemed to annoy, astonish you more than the audience. And he said, well, you know, Mr. Woolley, if I as much as broke one little pinky, no one would pay me a second thought. I thought then such unexpected display of humility deserved my friendship.